Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and are making some really good trades. And let's dive into the analysis here. So, the markets got a nice little end of the week rally, I guess, to finish off the big sell off that we got throughout the whole week. Again, we still ended down on the week here. I got too many things on my chart. Let me just go over to the S&P. So, yeah, we still ended a down week, sorry, but up on the day today on Friday. Nasdaq was a little bit rough as well. Dow Jones, similar situation. Actually, Dow Jones been a new high, but it actually rallied up pretty substantially today, which is kind of what it got. It got itself out of the red zone. And then let's take a look at the Russell 2000. Russell, another up week. So for me, what I'm looking for now in terms of movement in the markets. Let me get back on the S&P. I'm looking for maybe one more low here, although it could have already ended because we already hit my buy area on Friday and on Thursday as well. But what I'm looking for is essentially just another lower low, and then to market this off as finished. But we're already starting to see some buying stepping in. But it's a lot of weakness in the tech sector right now, so I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to sell off even deeper, right? The QQQs hit my buy area on the dot. It's kind of chopping about today, up and down. Very, very. It's not nice price action, I would say, for a big bounce and a big reversal. This was a weak bounce, in my opinion. I think what's most likely is that we're gonna get another low, and people are gonna not expecting it. People are expecting this is it. The low's in because they're used to buying the dip on this whole way up, right? That's been the whole thing. Dip buy, dip buy, dip buy, dip buy, and we continue to go up. Now I think it's gonna get a little bit more tricky. It's gonna get dicey, right? And the dollar is kind of setting up for maybe one leg higher here, for us to reach this target at 104.9, which could put pressure on these markets. So we'll see how everything plays out next week. The IWM continues to push higher here. Again, this 1-2 setup looks like it has held up. But what it really needs to do is continue to push up. You need to blast off and hit the 234 level to literally mark this off as finished. But really, it can continue to go higher. Like it can continue to moon, right? If the yields drop and things look really good for rate cuts, but it's not setting up for that right now, right? Things can change. Maybe Jerome Powell gets really dovish over the weekend and over the course of the next few weeks into FOMC and Jackson Hole, and then we get hints that everything's fine. Rate cuts are coming, massive rate cuts are coming, despite inflation data, and nobody cares, right? Then that would help the IWM moon to 260. But for me, I'm not trying to be greedy with it. I've already taken profits on my trade, and it's not to say that we can't get more upside, but I want to secure my gains. So I took my profits here, guys, right around the highs, like pretty close to it, like 222, something like that. We cashed out our URTY position, which is the triple leverage long ETF. I believe we closed it up over 39% inside the Discord. Let's talk about a few other things here. Let me cover some individual names, and we'll talk about crypto as well because Bitcoin is going up definitely, and it's looking like Mara may be getting a bounce, but I'll cover that in just a bit. Let's talk about Apple. Apple here almost hit the buy area. It's almost there. That's what I'm talking about. Maybe one more low for next week before the big reversal comes. And then maybe we get this fifth wave. So Apple needs to go down, right? It needs to go down to 213. Next week, I believe we have some big earnings coming up. Let me just pull them up here very quickly. I'll be able to tell you guys right away what's coming up. So next week, we got, let's see, look at the major ones here. PayPal, AMD, Microsoft, Amazon, Apple, Intel, Coinbase, Roku, okay, Meta, ARM, Qualcomm. Yeah, we got some heavy hitters next week. We got an action-packed week for earnings, so it's going to be interesting to see how everything plays out. if we could sell that down into this early on, I would be a buyer into earnings for Apple. But it's not to say that this can't fail. This can 100% fail. And what we have is a three-wave move up. And this is very bearish. The chart pattern changes completely. But for now, it's looking okay for a setup to rally into earnings. Tesla, I told you guys, was setting up for a drop into earnings when we were up here. The buy area was down here. Now that we're in the buy area, it's kind of like, the reason I'm not long Tesla yet is that we're now beneath this downward sloping trend line. Although, things can take a turn here, and if we see good earnings from all the other companies next week and the market starts to turn it back up, yeah, I'll get long Tesla. But not, I'm playing it safe. I'm preserving capital. We're protecting all our hard-earned gains that we got throughout the year here. Let's take a look at a few other things. NVIDIA is in the buy area, but for me, it looks like it also needs a little bit more downside, but maybe not much more. We erase divergence here for the third wave to extend, and really, you could also, if you really want to, put the 4 and the 5 here, but you don't have divergence. It extended down with this drop. So for me, maybe one more low next week, right? And then we'll take a look at Roku. So Roku, kind of tough little trade here, but ended up holding up. And we are actually up, I believe, on some call positions that we have on Roku. So I'm expecting maybe a gap up into wave 3 on Roku, and let's see if it plays out. Let's see if it plays out, because Roku has had some pretty remarkable gap ups, but also remarkable gap downs on earnings. So you get earnings gap up, earnings gap down, earnings gap up, and sometimes there's a nothing burger, but we'll see. We're so low here already. We are in the buy area. We're set up for a bit of a rally. Let's talk about AMD. So AMD hit my sell area here, and it's looking quite bearish now. AMD kind of looks like it needs to extend back down here to the $102 level, which is very bearish. It's just, I told you guys, I didn't take the shorts because I'm not crazy enough to short the semis, but we were long AMD into this level, and AMD hit what? A nice 20% gain, and after that, it was just a straight up crash from there on out, down 24%. So again, this just goes to show that you got to take your profits on these trades, right? And I exited with profit. We bagged like an 11 or 12%er on this one, and we nailed the low here. So this system does work for people who are wondering, this is just random lines on the chart. No, absolutely not. SMCI. Let's talk about SMCI. SMCI has failed some levels here. So now this bullish setup has been invalidated, right? This whole other leg up, it's over, guys. What we need to look at moving forward is a double correction that's taking place here. WXY. So what you got going on now is you got a big move lower that's going to extend down, right? And you got to be prepared for this, because the target for SMCI, for it to go lower, the target is going to ultimately be, let's see, I think I already charted it. Oh no, it's moved. So the target is 456 to 111. So really, this is good. It's got lots of pain coming. The easy money and the semis is over, right? And the quicker you guys accept that, this is too deep for wave 4. I would have to say, way too deep. I can't make this a wave 4. This is just too much of a correction. We need to call this move done. You finished the weekly cycle too, right? So now the pain is going to come. You're going to get a bounce, right? Don't get me wrong. there will be a bounce, but now it may be a rally to short, right? Unless there's a pivotal change in the market and the charts change as well, but it's not looking good now, guys. It's not looking good. Okay, let's talk about a few other things as well. Let's talk about the TLT. So the TLT continues to churn up here. So it looks like we were correct again. So I remember someone saying in the comments, "Oh my God, you're so wrong. You know, this is the TLT is it's gonna crash. The rates are gonna surge." I really doubt that. And we are in a 1-2-1-2-1-2 setup. This is extremely bullish for bonds. Bonds should break out here, right? And look at our buy area. It entered our buy area, reversed out of it beautifully. Now, it's not to say that it can't come back down, right, and double correct, but it's set up for more upside, which means yields should go lower. The small caps should probably benefit from this, should probably continue to benefit from this trade here for it to go higher. Okay, and man, the small caps just moves like a crazy amount here. Like they go up like 1-2% a day sometimes. So the tough trade is probably the Nasdaq. Trying to long the Nasdaq is probably the toughest trade right now. Hardest trade for the Russell is probably shorting it, and then the Dow Jones. The Dow Jones is in a peculiar spot. It's either trying to confirm a breakout here to new all-time highs, or it's failing a breakout and it's going to break back down in a dramatic way. Wow, Bitcoin just looks so bullish here. Like this whole dip was bought up. In 2 days it's gonna close. Imagine if we could close a candle with like new all-time highs. That would be perfect. You know, that would just chef's kiss. But we'll see how things play out. Let's see here. Let's take a look at Mara very quickly. I said we would take a look at Mara. So Mara, kind of bouncing back up today, although still not looking great. So this is why I say Bitcoin may just make a nominal all-time high, or just not too high, and then it's over, and then we rip back down. But I think we see more upside. I think maybe we can even reach 80K or maybe 100K before it's all said and done, and we finish up the cycle, and then we correct lower with the miners, because the miners, to me, don't look like they're set up to rally. They just don't, right? They just don't look like they're set up to rally. They look like they're set up to go lower. And I'm ready to buy them, right? I'm ready to buy some miners, and I'll get into crypto mining position, but when the time is right. You know, I liked it at $7 here. I just didn't end up pulling the trigger on it for mining, and it ended up rallying 194%. So that's on me, right? Okay, so that basically wraps it up, guys. I don't have much to add. Pretty straightforward. We continue to be defensive now. We're heavy in cash. We took massive profits on the portfolio, and oil short continues to go down. So we're continuously shorting oil here. For short from the highs, I would not get a short now. You know, shorting now is you're just you're late to the party at this point. And then we could talk about gold and silver very quickly. Gold and silver. So silver is in the buy area, and gold is still in this wave 4 here. Looks like it wants to extend lower still, but could have already found its bottom with the divergence being erased here on the low. So the C leg is probably done. Now it should rally out in this 4. So let's see if it ends up doing that. Or maybe, sorry, I may have this labeled wrong. This whole thing might be a 1-2, but anyways, I'll fix this over the weekend. Have a good night, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.